Yo, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Joe Barber. Today's Thursday. I want to say it's the 16th. I forget my days, but y'all know that already, man. It is 9:30 in the morning. I'm on my way to the shop. I don't start cutting till 11, but today I'm gonna start like at 10:30, 10:45. I got a cool design that I got to do on a gentleman that is going to Vegas to go to, I don't know what that thing is called, where they do all the neon lights and ECM or whatever. I don't know the exact whatever, but I'm doing that, so that's great. It's cool. Get to use my creativity again. But putting this video together just to encourage anybody out there that is trying to become the best version of themselves. Whatever it is that you do, whether you're a barber, whether you're a shop owner, whether you're just an entrepreneur, artist, whatever it is that you're doing in your life and you're trying to be the best that you can be, I'm telling you, man, it is a process. And I've overcome so many things that I wish that I didn't go through, but as you get through them, it really does make you stronger. I know there's a cliche, you know, where they say like, oh, what don't kill you make you stronger, blah, blah, blah. But you really do feel like you're dying sometimes when you're going through these situations. And it's been tough. Me mentally, physically, spiritually, I've grown so much because of what I've gone through. I've had to really look back at a lot of the self-inflicting wounds and some of the trauma that I grew up with that I never really like handled. I was a person that always had a chip on my shoulder, man. I always felt like I had something to prove. I always felt like I had to overcompensate with my skills or with my work ethic because if I didn't, I felt like I didn't have value. And unfortunately, I grew up in a bad environment. I wouldn't change anything about my neighborhood, you know, upbringing. You know, like I said, I've said it numerous amount of times that my mom was an alcoholic. You know, we lived in the projects for a long time. Then we moved out. I still wanted to be a part of that, you know, the bond, the brotherhood that we had in our neighborhood. But at the same time, not knowing, because I was young, man, I didn't know. I didn't have a father figure. My dad was never around. Man, I barely even know my dad's birthday. And the thing is, my dad passed away, and it hurt me because I'm very sympathetic. For me, I feel a lot of sympathy for people in general. I don't care if you're a bad person, good person, whatever. I don't wish bad on anybody because I don't know what's on the other side, man. I don't know where you go. And as bad as of a person that you could have done some hideous crime here, you know, to be like sent somewhere like or beyond death, like that, we can talk about heaven and hell, and imagine like someone going to hell for eternity. That's not cool, bro. Like no matter what. And I tend to think like, well, how did that person was not born evil in my mind. You know, I think that way. I'm like, that person wasn't born evil. Somebody or somehow or something kind of guided them to be that way. And it sucks that happens. So when I see people, I see them now. Before I used to see them and take offense, or I'll just, you know, judge on the outside, whether it's tattoos, whether it's someone that you can tell they have some insecurity, so they're trying to be disrespectful to you because they have their guard up and they're just constantly like, you know, mad dogging people. And that's how I grew up, you know, not to be disrespected. If someone tries to size you up, then you size them up and you don't step down and you don't back up. Man, tons of people in prison because of that mentality. Tons of people are dead because of that mentality. Just because somebody looked at you wrong or you responded in a way that you could have went a different route, but you had to show your manhood and you had to show your ego and your pride. And I grew up like that. So I'm definitely happy now that that's not a part of who I am. If I see anybody try to come at me that way, I will gladly step down and back away. Not for the fact that I'm scared or not for the fact that, you know, I can't defend myself. I know what I'm capable of doing. You know, tell you, man, I'm a licensed carrier in Texas, dogs. You know, that's how it is. But I will defend myself if I need to, but if I have 99 options to get out of it, I will definitely get out of it. I do not, for one, want in my conscience knowing that I had to take somebody's life because they were trying to rob me or, you know, break into my house, break into my car, break into my business or anything like that, because that person is in survival mode. Those people that do that, I know they're in survival mode. Somebody taught them or told them, like, hey man, if you ain't got it, go get it from somebody and just rob them. And somebody put that in their head and they believe that that's the only way that you can come out of whatever it is that you're in, whether it's you struggling. And a lot of times we do all these things and we pile this big old house on top of us and we feel like we can't move it. But there's always a way out of everything, but you have to realize and take accountability for all the things that you did wrong, all the lying, the stealing, the cheating, the whatever it is, for you not to sit down and say, you know what, man, let me work on me first. And I have never done that. And I never knew how to love somebody. Like, I never knew what it meant to have unconditional love for one person or for someone to display that with me. But, you know, now that I've experienced that, it's like, that's what I want and I won't settle for anything less than that. I'm not saying that I need to be in a relationship or that I need to be whatever it is. If I put myself in a position to where I know that that's what I want, I know what I want now because I'm older and I know what it takes to have a healthy relationship. I know what it takes to have a healthy friendship. I know what it takes to have a healthy, way of thinking, you know what I'm saying, how to process things and not, you know, to be slow to anger. Like when you know, have arguments or disagreements with someone you love, and that doesn't have to be your spouse. I'm just saying people that you love, that are your friends or that your kids, your mom, your dad, whoever. When you have disagreements, you have to be slow to anger. And it's like, okay, let me breathe. Let me, you know, calculate this and not respond with anger, not respond. Even when you're happy, don't respond because you're feeling happy, like, oh yeah, let's just do everything. Like, nah, man, let's be logical. Let's think this out and be, you know, be present in the moment. And that's the thing that I've learned the most out of the last 8 months that I've been, you know, changing my way of thinking, changing my process of living. And I wanted to share that with people out there because a lot of people that are in my industry, barbering, man, they can give you the best highlights. They can give you the flash. They got the Bentleys, they got the classes, they got the tattoos, they got the clothing, they got the style, the swag, the drip, whatever. They got everything. They're surrounded by celebrities. You know, I got a lot of friends that are doing big things, right? And that's great. You can get there. So the only thing that I want to tell you is that if you're not at your best and if you're not prepared to handle the celebrity, the spotlight, the this, the that, I promise you, man, it will break you. It will crack you in half because it's so demanding. And when you're dealing with celebrities, they're demanding perfection. They demand loyalty. They demand, like, I'm telling you, man, they're on it. Like, hey, man, where you at? Why aren't you here? Answer your phone. Be here. Blah. Don't matter. And you have to be able to balance yourself out. You have to sustain yourself. And that's the reason I'm doing what I do. That's why I share my story. You know, I just got back from the CT Barber Expo. I went out there, had a great time. We were there for the Barber Grammys. We were there for the after party with Pacino's. They had the first day where they had some educational, they had barber competition, a lot of products, you know, a lot of new products were released that day. So it was great, man. I got my hands on some new trimmers from Babyliss with the rechargeable batteries, which is dope. I supported some of my friends that I haven't seen in a couple of years. You know, COVID messed up a lot of stuff. A lot of us are recouping. But I'm telling you, man, when you want to network and be seen and build bridges with people, you have to be invested into this. Costs money to fly out to Connecticut. Costs money for the hotel, the car, the gas, the food, the everything. But at the end of it, if you're a business owner, you're a business, you got an LLC, you get to write all that off because it's a business expense, it's a business trip. But what I'm trying to say to you is this, that you have to put in the work. But you have to work on yourself daily, every day. Work on yourself, whether it's you having to get your vocabulary at a higher rate where you're able to use more define words to be able to paint the picture that you're trying to paint with words. You have to do that. And the way you do that is you watch videos on YouTube, you talk into the mirror, you can record yourself on your iPad, iPhone, and just watch how you talk, how you speak, what words you're using. Make sure you're not repetitive in what words you're using. Different things like that, how to use your hand gestures and all that. Two is identifying the things that trigger you, what gets you upset, what gets you mad, what makes you sad, what makes you happy, you know, and you want to stay focused. What's your objective to when you go to these events? My objective was to talk to a lot of the OGs that I've known. You know, I wanted to take more pictures because I wanted to take those pictures and post them at my school once my school's open, because some people don't understand the connections that I have with a lot of these people that other people look up to. I'm really cool with them. You know, a lot of them are my friends. A lot of them, you know, are my mentors. A lot of people are just a phone call away. Do I abuse it? No, I never abuse those connections, whether it's with J Majors, with Pacinos, with A-Rod, whoever. I don't ever abuse my friendship or my connection with them just because I have their phone number. Even for some of the celebrities that I cut, Lecrae, Andy Mineo, and, you know, a couple of guys, I don't abuse the relationship I have with them. You know, I'm very appreciative of that, but I never abuse it. And the thing is, I went out to do that. I went to make sure that I was able to connect with some of my guys, make sure they knew that I show love, bought some products. Then number three was, the reason I went out there was to compete. I went out there to compete in the duplicate category. So they gave us a picture of an NFT ape, and it had like the little party blower. I don't know what that thing's called, man. And then he had like a little hat that had the little fan on top. I don't know. So I had to cut the hair, doing that job, you know, cut the hair, add color within 1 hour. I won first place. I won $5,000. I couldn't believe it. It was so surreal for me at that moment, because I was like manifesting this and preparing myself. Dude, I had butterflies before the competition started because I knew what it takes. Now, I have a lot of experience. I've competed in numerous amount of barber battles. I'm not undefeated. I've lost. I've beat some top guys. I've lost to some top guys, you know, but the experience I bring to the table when it comes to competing is, you know, really, really good. So I was prepared, but breathing techniques were good for me, making sure that I can visually see. I didn't even take a model. I had to pay a kid there $500 to be my model. I told him, if I win, I'm giving you $500. And he was like, yo, for real? And I was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna bless you with $500 if you allow me to, you know, do my thing. And it worked. I paid him $500 right after. I Zelled it to him. And J Majors gave me my check. I deposited that check yesterday. It takes 2 or 3 days at my bank because it was like a Bank of America check. So anyway, I say that to say this. I went over there. I accomplished all my goals. I had a great time. We hooked up with a lot of Texas people that were there. Shout out to Faded Culture. You know, and the thing is, man, I'm 41 years old. I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm still hungry to learn more. I'm still hungry to grow. I'm still hungry to create. I'm still hungry to be better. And for the people out there that, if you're still working at a booth, you know, booth rent, or you're doing commission or whatever it is, maybe you haven't even finished school yet, I want to encourage you to hold yourself accountable and sacrifice going out to the club, sacrifice the clothing, sacrifice the image a little bit, and work on your character, work on your skills, work on your vocabulary, work on all these intangible things that are going to make you a better person. Understand the law of vibration, understand the law of attraction, understand, you know, the positivity, understand what changing your, like, just changing your mindset will do. You know, it's so important to know that you can become anything you see in your mind. If you can think of it, if you can see it in your brain, you can definitely achieve it. And that's the thing, that's the message for today, man. Like, trust God in everything you do. Trust God. But in your mind, you're so powerful. You're so powerful. But I'm getting a call from my accountant, so I'm gonna hit y'all up, man. Y'all stay blessed and y'all stay faded.